So when I make these videos, I always love to use this tripod, the Joby GorillaPod 3K Pro Kit. The problem is, it's not always the most practical. So one of the ways I like to use this camera is by setting it up somewhere in the car whenever I am doing just like a talking shot. So one of the really one of the only ways I can do that is like this, and I have it attached to my steering wheel, which isn't particularly convenient or ideal. I mean, it's a good shot. I mean, it's square and everything, but it's just, it's subject to the steering wheel. I mean, it's stuck. In a perfect world, I would like to have it up on the dash somewhere, but there's only like, 4 to 6 inches of space to where that just simply can't happen. Except this right here. About a month ago, whenever I made the concert vlog, I used that particular GoPro mount to shoot like a carpool karaoke type of shot in the car. I loved that shot, super wide, super nice, but the audio on the GoPro's always been a question. Not only that, but it's the GoPro. It's not my main shooter. So with that in mind, I want to figure out a way to be able to mount this camera, the Sony ZV-1, to the GoPro dash mount. And over the past like week or so, I've been formulating an idea for a design that would allow me to mount my camera, my ZV-1, to anything that a GoPro can pretty much mount to. I just hope that when I make this thing, it's actually as simple as I think it's going to be. I need to find some screws that are the 1/4 inch size that fit into this camera. And now that I got the hardware that I need for this particular project, this GoPro mount, I need to cut the piece of wood. Alright, that was easy money. Got the pieces we needed. Now all I got, really as simple as it is, all I gotta do now is just like drill 2 holes and then that's it. That's all I have planned. So at this point in the mission, I've got the pieces of wood cut out that I want to use. And so I'm heading back to the office now so I can finish the process. So let's go. So I've got this piece marked up where I want it to go, where I want the holes to be. I can foresee a couple of problems coming up. These dots represent a hole for these screws to go through. I marked them in specific spots on purpose because one of them, the GoPro one, the one that's going to attach to this little guy, is going to be centered. I want it to be centered on the rig, right? So I want it to be like right in the middle. And then the camera one, I want it to be offset slightly because the screw mount on the camera is offset slightly. So the ZV-1 is going to sit really, really close to flush on this piece, while the GoPro mount is going to come out the center of the bottom. So both things are going to be centered. Problem number one is that this screw, see how there's like, how the top of it is? If I can't get it to where it's almost exactly level with the top of this piece of wood, it's going to scrape the bottom of the camera and be difficult to deal with. Another question I have, which should be relatively easy to address, is there's the width of that top of the screw, and then there's the width of the GoPro piece, which I just have solved it by holding it up to the camera. There's going to be enough space, so we're good on that one. The main question is making sure this screw is flush with the piece. So the first problem that I had, that I was worried about the screws actually getting flush with the wood, that was no problem. I ended up having to chip out some of the plywood in order for it to get flush, but it worked out just fine. And then the other problem of the screw and the GoPro mount being too close together, it did end up posing some kind of an issue. That should do it. Oh yeah, baby. Haha, let's go. Yes. But But then after I got the GoPro mount put in and I melted it to fit the other camera screw, I actually ran into another problem. And this problem was one I actually wasn't expecting. Like I said before, I want to use this rig for my dash. And this is the mount that I will be attaching it to slip it onto my dash, that little holder there. So the problem I had was that the mount I was using had one of these little guys on the end of it. So taking this metal piece out was pretty easy. It was just pliers, boom. But then I had to do something about the piece that the metal piece is held in. And so after some contemplation yet again, I was coming up with an idea and I figured, you know what? I've already mangled this GoPro mount anyway, I may as well finish the job. So what I did was I went ahead and melted and ripped off that third piece. So now we're finally going to be able to attach the ZV-1 to my dash. Okay, it's pretty hot in here, so I'm gonna make it quick. So I just need to screw this little dude on, which it's not perfectly tight, but it's tight enough for this example. Okay, so I've got the camera attached to the GoPro mount. The contents of my pocket is the mount and the screw. We're simply just gonna attach. All right, so now we've got it attached. So it's secure. So it's all a matter of just locking it in place. And look at that, there's even room for the mic. We can adjust it if need be. Let's take a look and see. Yo, that's really good. Oh, that's so much better than I thought it would be. And I could honestly too, if I wanted to, I could move it slightly more. Oh, that's perfect. Wow, look how perfect that shot. I'm just gonna, dude, that is seriously so perfect. Oh my gosh. Dude, check this out. That is everything I dreamed it would be. That is perfect, bro. It do be hot in here, but it works. I'm so psyched about this. Now, okay, let's be real. This is going to be basically almost exclusive. This is gonna be for like car monologue / montage. Let me turn it around. See, I'll be able to look out front. The windshield's kind of in the way of the mic, so I'm sorry if it kind of sounds terrible. That is very, very cool. I think some value that can be taken from this video. Sometimes making something yourself is so satisfying. I'm sure somewhere out there on the internet I could find this particular rig to where it's like a GoPro mount and you have a 1/4" screw and like it fits a camera, but something about doing it this way felt really good in my soul. You know, I had to cut the wood, I drilled the holes, I bought the screws, and I, along the way, solved problems. And I think that is one of the fun things about it is, you know, you not only do you get the thing in the end, but you get the experience of going through and jumping over all the hurdles and fixing things and figuring it out. And I think that's something I love so much in this life is being able and being put into situations to where you got to figure it out. And once you get out of those situations like this, where I had a bunch of problems, but I ended up solving them. To me, that feels really, really good. And I really like that. So yeah. This is perfect. I love this. I'm so happy with this. It's hot in here, dude.